So corny.
Back with another video, and we'll get straight into it because we've got 15 minutes to film.
Okay.
Right. The title of this email is "My wife is too thick - divorce?"
Ooh.
Hi both. In brackets, sorry if anything I say herein comes across as offensive or crass. I will try to be as diplomatic as possible with my wording. Okay then, I've got a lawyer here. I am 34 and my wife is 33, and we have 2 children aged 9 and 6. We have been married for 11 years, during which time I have questioned myself on numerous occasions whether I should leave her. When I married my wife, I feel I did so for all the wrong reasons. To salve my deep insecurities, antecedents. What does that mean, bruh? Antecedents. I am going to Google that later, and I would have learnt a word. Were bullying and domestic violence. To present someone to my parents who was conducive to their way of thinking, to fit cultural expectations, to appease the extended family, and finally because I felt no one else would ever show an interest in me if I didn't go through with the marriage. I was always aware of what level my wife's intellectual capacity was at, but with my 23-year-old under-nurtured, myopic mindset. Bruh, you are using some words you don't need to use.
Yeah.
I didn't think for a second that it would affect my relationship in the long run. Without going into too much detail, I feel she lacks massively in terms of intellect. Yeah, probably if you're going to throw words like that at her. To the point that I find myself often having to dumb things down. There is little to no intellectual stimulation in our relationship, and it really gets me down. It even extends to her lack of interest in our children's education. Over the entire course of our marriage, I've always felt like I'm selling myself short. The corollary of all of this... Well, I'm going to learn 3 new words of all this is that it naturally causes argumentation because my frustrations get the better of me, and in the process I end up damaging her confidence, make her feel inadequate and heighten her insecurities. Well, that's not good. And I hate myself for it. Well, it's good that you hate yourself for it.
Yeah.
It makes me feel criminal and worthless. I hate that I can cause the mother of my children this pain, and sometimes I wonder whether I have damaged her for life. I just don't want to do this to her anymore. And if I'm being brutally honest with myself, I think that my frustrations about her lack of intelligence turned to resentment many years ago. At best, I think all I have with her now is conjugal piety. What is that?
Yeah, he's just there.
He literally is just only respecting her now because she's the mother. I think so. We'll have to check that on Google. We should get a thesaurus and a dictionary. She is the mother of my children, so she will always be a significant person in my life, but sadly I have fallen completely out of love with her. I don't mean to reel off platitudes, but while I feel like I no longer want to be with her, I feel like staying for the sake of my children is the only option. I've written quite a bit now, and I know I've made a complete hash of the wording, yes. But there is no easy way to put these things I feel, so I apologise about that. Please can you advise as to how I should move forward? From a very concerned brother. Right, so this is very interesting.
I always say...
Bit of dribbly. I saw it.
I'm hungry, man. I always say nobody should stay in a relationship for
the sake of
the children.
I agree.
That should be a no-go. You should never stay in a relationship because you have children if you're unhappy.
Why do you think like that?
That should not be a thing. It's just not healthy. It is not healthy at all. It's not.
And
it's not good for the children.
Yeah.
It's definitely not good for the children.
It might be healthier for the kids if you're if you're separated. I mean, I'm not talking to you in specific, but in general, the people that think like this, it's actually sometimes healthier for the kids if you're separated and you have a healthy relationship, not as lovers.
Yeah, because it is definitely healthy for as a child, it's definitely healthy and better for your parents to be happy. Yeah,
whether that be together or separately.
Yeah, that's all it needs to be. They just need to be happy. It's better for the child's upbringing. They just have better memories, everything.
Yeah.
Divorce is such a taboo word, especially in like the Muslim community. When people say divorce, people are like, divorce, oh my god.
Yeah, especially if a woman's divorced. God, she's got no future, has she then?
It's really not that sort of thing. It just means that it didn't work out, and that's as simple as it is.
But it's also to remember, like, if you are going through divorce and that, to keep it, like, to be very grown up about it and keep it very civil and try and be on good terms, because
you have to be on good terms.
Because you can't be having this thing where, like, if your kid's going to stay with the dad for however long, and you've got to sit there and worry that you're going to be slagged off in front of your kids.
Yeah, that is...
And vice versa. That's the worst thing, man. Like, both families have to show utmost respect for the other parent, even though it didn't work out, in front of the kids. You can say whatever you want behind the kids' back, whatever, but in front of the kids...
In front of the kids.
Because in front of the kids, that's their mum or that's their dad. And this is talking
not just,
like,
oh yeah, that's mum, that's dad. They're still, like, together in this.
They're still
even though
together as parents.
As parents, they're still together.
Yeah.
They're not...
And this is talking very generally and obviously on the basis that both the parents are decent human beings. What I really want to say is, though, so his main problem is now he thinks he's fallen out of love with her because she's basically not as smart as him. I totally get... I mean, I don't get it because I mean Sid, but I mean, I totally understand. I understand what you mean, or I can imagine how frustrating it could be if somebody's not on the same wavelength as you, because that essentially then means that you can't even have a decent conversation with this person.
Let's just put that out there. We're not talking about our relationship right now.
Yeah.
We aren't.
But we are talking about some relationships that we know of.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't have a decent conversation with that person because of the level of intellect, man, that it could potentially be the worst thing, because you've literally, like, this is supposed to be your companion for the rest of your life. Like, when your kids are older and it's just you two again,
what are you going to talk about?
What are you going to talk about? You can't even have a good you can't have a good debate. You can't have an interesting you can't discuss politics. Like, what? I don't think it's like a big deal that she's not as smart as you, or if she's underwhelmingly thick, as you put it, because it could be quite nice if she was open to learning with you and you're kind of teaching her. That could be quite nice if it's not done in an undermining way.
That could be a thing.
It could be a way to get your love back together. But because you said she's not even interested in your children's education, it sounds to me like this is the way kind of she was brought up. It sounds like he got someone from back home potentially who...
It might not even be that.
I literally don't know.
I know people that aren't from back home and they're thick as a fucking bag of bricks.
I know that, but I'm saying because he said he got somebody to please, like, his family and cultural expectations, all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I put that, because I'm smart enough to put those two together.
I don't know, most of the time I don't listen to the damn emails. So
yeah, you really don't, because I'm like, didn't you hear the bit where he said... So if she's not interested in your children's education, that for me is like a big, like, red flag, because, okay, all right, you're giving up on your own education, whatever, but your child, you should really want to nurture anything that you see as best you can. Like, we're really noticing a lot of things about Hannah, and we're like, yo, Sid, like, I believe everybody is smart, but it's about how much encouragement they had and how much support they had to be able to, you know what I mean? Like, for example, you didn't do well in your academics, but you were the smartest person I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're so bloody smart.
Oh, thank you.
See, on
thank
books...
you very much.
No, but literally, on books, like, the way Sid's mind works and that...
Is a no-go.
See, you can be academically smart, or you could be...
Book smart, innit?
Yeah, book smart. You're not book smart.
I'm not book smart.
You're not book smart. But, like, yesterday, what were we doing? Something that you've never done before. And I was like, shit, this is really good, Sid. Remember?
Oh, thanks. Can I have a gold star?
No, but... And it was something that, you know, would be considered quite academic. Let me tell you something about Sid, right? If he doesn't know the answer to something, or he doesn't understand something, the first thing he does is so annoying, is go and find out and learn about it. Oh my God, that's the first thing. A lot of people don't do... He gets so annoyed.
When I don't know something.
Oh, and he gets so annoyed if he... Because listen, I hate to break it to you, you're not the best at everything in this world,
I'm not.
Right?
I know that.
But he hates that.
I do hate that.
Anything he learns, he wants to be the best at it.
I think... Do you know what? As much as it's... In your relationship, right? You're going to get different kinds of people. You might get out of this relationship that you're in right now with your wife, right? And get with someone like me. Not a dude. But I'm saying, like... So
He's got the wit as well!
Someone that's competitive, smart, you know what I mean? Really, really... You know, you can have debates with. We have that sort of thing. Me and her. But I like that. You might hate it.
Ooh, you might hate it.
You might hate that there's someone that's competing with you.
Not competing with you, but you might hate somebody that
could potentially be smarter than you.
Could potentially beat you in a debate about something and actually put you in your place, because you sound like a bit of a know-it-all.
You know what I mean? You might hate that. It could be... There could be a long time.
It could be a blessing in disguise. You sound like you need a specific kind of person. But also what you got to remember is, did your wife have the same kind of education as you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that does make a difference in terms of what we talk
No,
about.
she definitely
with support and stuff.
didn't have the same kind of education as him.
But let me say something else as well. You could have people, like, when you think about doctors, you think, well, smart as shit, right? But you could have doctors, or you could have people like, you know, like that. They've got something, they've got like...
People who are book smart. They could be thick as shit.
Yeah, and they've got a certificate to prove it and a good job to prove it. But when you come and start talking to them about, you know, social issues, life, things like that.
It just goes way over their heads.
It's just like, woo!
It's not even there.
And their mind is literally this big when it comes to that stuff. They just know...
Oh, that's a big brain. Okay.
Is it?
No, I'm joking. See?
No, but do you know what I mean? So maybe it's literally trying to figure out with your wife what it is that gets her, like, that she really...
Yeah.
What it is, because there will be something, she's just got to find it.
Yeah.
And then she's got to find the way that she is able to learn as well, because it might not be that standard way that you're thinking, you know.
Because you know, I'm saying you're a pretty smart guy. You sound like a pretty smart guy. But me and Dina could talk about some things that will completely go over your head. If you are a good husband and you really care about your wife, right? And
because of your conjugal piety,
people fall in love and fall out of love, fall in love, fall out of love. That's just normal.
Yeah,
it is very normal for you to be that way. If you really care about your wife and you want to stay in the relationship, you know, nurture the things and help her along her way.
Don't undermine her and make her feel insecure on that. Nurture it. You don't have to be like, yo, listen, you're thick, we're gonna find your thing, come on.
Yeah.
Like, just you should have maybe picked up on something she's interested in. It might be something that you think's a waste of time. It might be makeup.
There's loads of things that people think that are a waste of time, and they really
I don't know why
not.
I said makeup. It's so stereotypical.
Especially in this day and age, nothing is a waste of time. Her being amazing in it, she can make a whole living out of it potentially, and make you look like a fool. You know what I mean? There are people who...
There's people who are bloody amazing businessmen and women.
I mean, if I was you and if I was in your position, I would try and stick it out for a bit. Not as in sticking it out and let me listen to her and see if I can get along with her. Not that sort of thing. You know, you've been married for so long, you've got kids for so long.
Kids.
She's your mate.
She's been raising kids as well.
If you think about it, right, don't look at it as like, well, I'm going to throw her a bone. This is a bit of charity. She's your friend. She's your mate, right? Just help her. As a mate, help her out. And just be like, yo, what are you interested in?
Yeah, literally help her find her thing and help her, just as a hobby, help her get into it. Think about it as well. She probably hasn't had any time to herself.
Yeah.
She got married to you. Sounds like you were both 23, right? You're both 23. You both had kids. You've been raising the kids.
Yeah.
Maybe now she can have her time to do her own thing and she'll find something. It could be anything, man. It could be anything that she's into.
I know it sounds grim and she sounds like a guinea pig.
No.
But don't see it that way. I don't see it that way.
We go through these things
because
all the time,
we've
Sid.
done that. Look,
we've literally sat down and brainstormed. Like Sid said, I reckon, like, if you still... I'm pretty sure there could still be something there if you just, like, find...
Yeah. And if you don't find it, what's the worst that could happen? You get divorced. And do you know what?
On good terms.
Be on good terms.
Inshallah. And just because...
We always tell each other, if we were to ever split up, we'd still be close friends. Like, if...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hope that. Just because she seems like she's not interested in her children's education, doesn't mean that you can't be. And that you can't be the person to forefront that and to encourage that. Because I know what you mean. Typically, like, it's the mum, isn't it, who sits there and...
That's a good point.
Get your homework done. Come on, I'll do it with you. What don't you understand?
And you don't expect to be that person.
You don't expect to be that person. But why not you do it?
Yeah.
Because if it's not her, then so what? It's so that you can sit on the back bench and do nothing. Well, how about maybe she doesn't want to be involved in that? Maybe she feels intimidated by it.
Maybe she feels intimidated by it because that's not her. She doesn't feel.
It's not her forte.
You know, you can. I'll be honest, right? Dina takes lead with all of that stuff. And that's fine, but she brings me in as well.
Yeah, I make
sure
I bring Sid in because
so why do you not be that person that, you know,
takes the lead in terms of your children's education and how to, whatever it is that you guys you're annoyed about that she's not doing.
And bring her in.
Bring her in and make sure she understands why so and so is important to do with your kids. Because when you explain that and not in an argument, then you get it and you're like, yeah, sick, but I'm kind of tired. Can you try and enforce that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Naturally, each person will take on whatever roles they are. You might fit into the stereotypical role. In your case, you might not.
You just need
Nothing
to,
wrong with it.
you guys need to just take the lead with whatever you're strong at.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. It's not, look, I know I'm going to teach Hannah how to cook.
Yeah, that ain't going to be me.
Dina isn't going to teach Hannah
I'm going to teach her how to bake cakes, though, and cookies.
She could, I'm not a baker, so she could do that.
Well, I'm not a baker, but I know just it's a fun thing to
But
do.
I know for a fact Hannah is going to be spending so much time with me in the kitchen. Now,
We are going to buy her a kitchen.
Now, I'm a male. For me to say that, right, in the stereotypical roles would be weird. But in this day and age, it's not fucking weird. It's not weird at all. For Hannah to grow up and be like, I have fond memories being in the kitchen with my dad.
You know what she's going to grow up like?
You
She's
know
going to
what I
grow
mean?
up. You know how, like, when I go back to Cardiff, I'm like, oh, Mama's dinners, man. She's going to come back to us and be like, oh, Papa's dinners, man.
Yeah, Dad's dinners.
Not my home. My mum can't cook for shit.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
You know
Human
what
nature.
might be a good thing to do? Go away for a week with her. Take her abroad somewhere.
Oh my God, that's a good
bonkers.
idea.
Like somewhere totally different that you guys have never been. Literally like the other side of the world. And that might like just stimulate her mind, you know?
We blabbed on for long enough. I'm not even sure we gave you any tips.
I think we really did.
But be patient. Be really patient, right? She's a wounded animal. I'm joking.
Maybe this whole time she's been like, yo, my husband is so flipping thick, mate. I ain't even going to start with him. He's really annoying.
She might think you're thick.
She might think you're so thick. Sometimes me and Sid have arguments and he's like, you're thick. And I'm like, no, you're thick.
Yeah.
Because we don't understand each other's point. Sometimes me and Sid sit there and we're like, we are on totally different pages.
We are.
We actually still are.
We are.
Yeah, in a lot of things.
Like, we're not even on the same wavelength. It doesn't mean you cannot be in a relationship. It just means you need to understand each other. You need to understand where she's coming from and where he's coming from. You need to get that. If you don't get that, it just means you're an arsehole.
Yeah.
You know? Being different is bloody normal.
And also people do things or people say things or the way people think about things, a lot of it is based on their past. So you need to take that into consideration as well with your partner. What was her upbringing like? What did she go through as a child?
This is general advice right now, by the way.
Yeah, like literally, but it's so important that.
This is important. This is very important. This is important, especially if you're in a relationship. I'll tell you, 1%, not even that, less than 1%, actually do things like in EastEnders, like conniving. You know what I mean? If you feel, and people turn around in a relationship and do this all the time. Oh, you did that by purpose. You did that. You're sly. You're you're
purpose.
that. On purpose, sorry. You're sly. You did this. Never. Never does the person in a relationship, I'll tell you 1%, they do that, you know, by purpose. They're out to get you.
Yeah, like whenever I mess up
they're not out
and I've
to get
hurt
you.
Sid, and in the argument he's like, you did this on purpose because you're evil, this and that.
Yeah.
Like, that's never the case. It's never my intention, obviously.
And then when I calm down, I'm just like, obviously she didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And vice versa, obviously.
Yeah. It's...
Now, sometimes you do some things that is proper, like, yeah, I did this because I'm annoyed because this. And then you're just like, yeah, and then you apologise.
Oh, yeah, but I tell you.
Yeah.
But those aren't like,
yeah, it's not like acting.
I slit your throat because I was upset by it. No. It's just like, I ate the Twix because you ate the Kit Kat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyways, I hope that advice helped, and it probably did, it probably didn't. I say that on every video.
See you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
You know what? I'd love to hear the results of this person.
Actually, I would love to hear
I'd love to
the
know.
result,
So
yeah.
please follow up just for us to kind of know.
Yeah.
I'd love to know. So
yeah, I'd
good luck.
like to know what happens as well.
Yeah.
So just pop us another email. I will save your email address so I can filter it. Let us know what happens. Bye.